Oshawa Information Bravo. Weather at 1100 Zulu. Wind 260. At 2. Visibility 9 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 8. Dew point 4. Altimeter 3004. Approach our nav runway 30. Landing and departing runway 30. Inform ATC that you have information Bravo.
Oshawa Tower, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform holding short 30 on Bravo for takeoff.
Oshawa Mike Victor Uniform Tower, right turn out, wind 350 at 6 from Bravo, clear takeoff, runway 30.
Clear takeoff 30.
Oscar Yankee Julia Tower, number 1 departing 1.
Number 1 on Golf Oscar Yankee Julia. Oshawa Tower, Cardinal Foxtrot Zulu, Echo Romeo with Charlie.
Oshawa Zulu, Echo Romeo, Oscar.
Zulu Echo Romeo, main apron, ready to taxi, going westbound around the waterfront to St. Catharines, 2,500.
Echo Romeo ground runway 30, wind 340 at 5, altimeter 3004, taxi via Alpha Bravo, cross runway 23, squawk 5303, and contact tower 120.1, holding short runway 30. Mike Victor Uniform Tower, change en route frequencies, good flight.
En route frequency, thank you. Mike Victor Uniform. Toronto Center, this is Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform.
Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, Toronto Center.
Toronto Center, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, Cessna 172, just departed Oshawa on a VFR flight plan 6500 to Sudbury, requesting radar surveillance if possible.
Mike Victor Uniform, Toronto Center, squawk ident, not above 5,000 for now.
Mike Victor Uniform 0066, ident, not above 5,000.
Mike Victor Uniform, you're identified passing 3,700, Oshawa altimeter is 3005.
3005, Mike Victor Uniform.
Mike Victor Uniform, contact Toronto Center now with your requested altitude 127.0.
127.0, Mike Victor Uniform. Toronto Center, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform with request.
Charlie Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, Toronto Center, identified, say your request.
Requesting 6,500 and flight following to Sudbury.
Mike Victor Uniform 6,500, VFR is approved. Maintain VFR at all times and report before changing any altitudes.
Report before changing altitude, Mike Victor Uniform.
Well, good morning, everyone. So we have just departed Oshawa. We are on frequency with Toronto Center. We're heading to Sudbury. About an hour and a half flight, I think. 2-hour flight, based on today's winds. So about a 2-hour flight. And what I want to do today is break in that cylinder, or finish breaking in that cylinder. There is so much information on the internet about breaking in a cylinder. And there's different information from Savvy Aviation, different information from Superior Air Parts, where we bought the cylinder, different information from Continental, who makes the motor that we put the cylinder on. Chris said to defer to the information put out by Superior because it's their cylinder that we're trying to break in. So my idea today is to follow their procedures, follow their power settings, and hopefully by the time I get back from Sudbury, we'll be broken in.
24, contact Toronto Center now, 13457.
13457, 24.
And so Sudbury should be a nice flight. It's a beautiful sunshiny day. Okay, so we are 45 minutes into the flight. All of my temperatures and pressures are fine. The thing that I kept hearing from people about breaking in this cylinder was that you wanted to keep it hot. And sort of the power range I was given was between 65 and 75. The closer you could keep it to 75, the better it was going to be. And then to watch for your cylinder head temperature on that cylinder to start dropping into like the normal range. You're also looking for your oil consumption to normalize. This engine doesn't really consume much oil. In between oil changes, I put in maybe 1 liter of oil over that whole entire period, which is pretty good for this engine. Much better than I would have expected from this particular engine. So our temperatures have been I'm keeping them fairly high on that cylinder, and I can watch them drop. They are now dropping. I think we're working it in pretty well. I guess the only real tell is on the next oil change. We'll pull out the spark plug and borescope it and see what the inside of the cylinder wall looks like. But I'm thinking we're in really good shape, and I've got the ProPilot going, so you know, it's holding our altitude and holding our track I just get to sit here, monitor temperatures, and drink some tea. Look out the window. Beautiful day for flying. As we get closer and closer to Sudbury, there's fewer and fewer sort of emergency options available to me if something were to happen. Lots of lakes, but not many other options. Not too many even little airstrips or anything out here. And it's especially in my brain since at the annual, we took the ELT out because once a year it has to go away for service. They check the battery, they make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. So we took the ELT out at the annual, sent it off to the radio shop, and this morning when I was getting in the plane, I was thinking, I don't have the ELT. It should be back this week. And Chris texted me now and said it just arrived at the shop. So once we get to Sudbury, I'm going to change my plan and go to Edenvale and put the ELT back in. Now, I still have lots of options in the plane for emergency contact. So I've got a DOT. I've got these ACR units. I'm in contact with Toronto Centre. I'm on flight following radar surveillance. Even though I don't have the ELT, I feel pretty good that people would be able to find me if there was a need to. But definitely picking that up on the way back to Oshawa.
Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform. For continued flight following, you can contact Sudbury Radio now on 125.5.
Contact Sudbury on 125.5. Thank you very much. Sudbury Radio, this is Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform Cessna 172, currently 15 miles southeast field, inbound for landing with information India.
Cessna 172, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, Sudbury Radio, Roger. East India, runway 30, wind 360 at 13, altimeter 300 flight.
Sudbury Radio, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform entering the zone, 5 miles final, 30.
Mike Victor Uniform, Roger, and traffic will be holding short of runway 30 at CL 415. They'll be westbound once airborne. Copy Uniform India, you said you were a helicopter. What type of helicopter?
All 206 Long Ranger and just entering the zone.
Roger.
Taker 274 holding short 30.
Tiger 274, Roger, and if you'd like to taxi to position, it's at your discretion.
274 to position and take off our discretion.
Hotel Oscar Quebec, that for Arizona at this time.
Hotel Oscar, Quebec, Roger.
Okay, so there's Mike Victor Uniform, filled up. Didn't use really any oil on the way up, which is great. I think the temperature's down, the oil's down. I'm at about 3.5 hours on that cylinder at this point, and I think we're in really good shape. The flight back to Edenvale, to Chris's place at Edenvale to pick up the ELT, I am going to go through the cycle again just to make sure. Can't hurt. But I think at the end of this flight, cylinders in, seated, burned in, worn in, whatever you want to call it, it's ready to go.
Sudbury Radio, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, taking off runway 30, left turnout southbound.
Airspeed's alive.
Toronto Center, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform with request.
And sorry, who was that?
Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform.
Mike Victor Uniform, go ahead.
Mike Victor Uniform, Cessna 172, just departed Sudbury, climbing to 7,500 on a VFR flight plan to Edenvale, requesting radar surveillance.
Roger, Spock ident. Break, pulse 110 medevac, identified through 5,200. You're cleared to the Sudbury Airport by direct. Climb to maintain flight level 230. Mike Victor Uniform, identified VFR at all times, altitude through 5,800. At this time, Sudbury altimeter is 3005.
VFR at all times, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, thank you. Toronto Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, beginning descent into Edenvale. I can cancel radar now.
Roger, have a good day.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.
Edenvale traffic check, Sandy, on the stop is downwind 31.
Edenvale traffic, Mike Victor Uniform, 5 miles northeast inbound for landing. Planning on joining the mid-left downwind runway 31, full stop, Edenvale. Edenvale, Mike Victor Uniform, short final, runway 31, full stop. Edenvale traffic, Mike Victor Uniform, clear 31 on Delta, Edenvale.
Just get Chris to come in and make sure that's okay. And then I'll close this back up. So this is the area behind the extended baggage compartment. Baggage compartment ends here, and there's a wall that normally goes up here.
Edenvale traffic, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, taking off runway 31, left turnout, departing southeastbound, Edenvale.
Visibility 9 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 20. Dew point 4. Altimeter 2999. Approach our nav runway 30. Landing and departing runway 30. Inform ATC that you have information Julia.
Oshawa Tower, this is Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform.
Hotel Zulu Juliet Tower, wind 190 at 5. Clear to land, runway 30.
It's land 30, Golf Hotel Zulu Juliet.
Mike Victor Uniform, Oshawa Tower.
Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform is Cessna 172 with information Juliet, currently abeam the town of Uxbridge at 3,500, inbound for landing, last departed Edenvale.
Mike Victor Uniform Tower, runway 30, wind 200 at 5, altimeter 2998, cleared right downwind, report to beam Brooklyn, not below 2,000 feet.
Right downwind for runway 30, not below 2,000 feet, report Brooklyn, Mike Victor Uniform.
Mike Victor Uniform Tower, winds 240 at 6, cleared to land runway 30.
Clear 30, Mike Victor Uniform.
And so there we go, Mike Victor uniform back in the hangar for another day. The flight today was really good. We flew probably about 4 hours total. The cylinder is broken in at this point. Stopped into Chris's and got the ELT back in, and we discussed an exhaust gas probe that isn't doing quite what it's supposed to do. So I'll probably head up there in a couple of weeks when the part comes in and have that exhaust gas temperature probe replaced. We also talked about my emergency toolkit for the big trip up to the Arctic. Chris took a look at my tool bag and said everything looks great, but there's a couple of things that he wanted me to carry that I don't have. So in an upcoming episode, we'll be sitting down with Chris. He's going to go through my bag and then fill in the blanks that I don't have. Most of those things are just spare parts, like some spare plugs in case you get some fouling, which hasn't happened yet, but you never know. And the other thing is tire tubes. A spare tube for the mains and a spare tube for the front, just in case. So we'll be going through that toolkit in a future episode. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.